Come down to the second question. What is the second question? It says that the base of a triangle is 18 meter more than 2 times of its height, and if the area of the triangle is 360 square meter, it has determined the height of it. So what do we do in this question? Firstly, we take the height. Let the height of the triangle be h meter. So what will be the base? Base will be 2 times of his height, 2 times 2h plus 18 is equal to meters. So now it's given the question that the area of the triangle is 360 square meter. What is the formula of the area of the triangle? Half into base into height. Okay. So if you put the value as, so when we create an equation here, we get the equation. What do we get? Half into base is equal to h into half into height into base will be 2h plus 18, and this equals to 360 square meter. So we need to solve this equation. How do we solve this equation? 2h square plus 8 plus 18h equals to 720. Okay. So what do we get from the first equation? We get, if we take 2 as common, so what remains there? H square plus 9h, which equals to 720 by 2, 720 by 2, which equals to 360. Okay. So from the right hand side, we, in order to form the quadratic equation, we move the right hand side value, which is 360, to left hand side. So it gets into minus 360 equals to 0. So we need to find the value of, we need to create an equation where after subtracting we will get 9, and why is subtraction? Because here this sign is minus. Okay, so if we break down 360, what do we get? 2 into 180, 2 into 90. Here, since 360 was on the right hand side, so we moved the 360 into minus into left hand side. That's why it became minus. Just because I circle the minus sign doesn't mean people need to circle the minus sign. So if you break down 360, what do we get? 3, 15, 15, and 3, 5. So how do we bring 9 here? How do we bring it? So 3, 5, 15 minus 8, 15. What do we get? 8 square plus, from the factors, what do we get? 24 minus 15, which equals to 9. 8 minus 360. Okay, equals to 0. So if we break this factor, what do we get in the equation? 8 square plus 24h minus 15h minus 360 equals to 0. So what do we do? In from the first two terms, we take h as common, so it gets to h plus 24, and if we take minus 15 as common, so h plus 24. Okay, which equals to 0. So what are the two terms? One is h plus second 20. What do we get? 24 and 15. If you multiply 24 into 15, what do we get? 5 into 4 20, 5 into 2 10, 120, and this is 24. Okay, so what do we get? So h plus 24 minus h plus 20, 24 into h equals to 0. Okay, what were the terms? H plus 24 into h minus 15 equals to 0. Okay, therefore h is equal to minus 24. This can't be the height because it's a negative term. Okay, so we come down to the next term, which is h minus 15 equals to 0, or h is equal to 15. So we get the height as 15, and since it is a positive sign, we can't take h is equal to minus 24, since height cannot be negative. What was the question? Let us determine the height of it. So the height is h equal to 15. It was given x was one of the number, x is equal to plus 6, so the other number will be x is equal to 6 plus 3 is equals to 9. So the two numbers, one of the number is x is equal to 6, the other number will be 9. This is the answer. Broken, I'm solving 1.3. So the first question, 1.3, what is the question? It says the difference of two positive whole numbers is 3, and the sum of the squares is 117. So by calculating, we need to know what are those two numbers. So firstly, I'm just taking that one number bx. Okay, so what will be the second number? The second number will be it's telling the difference of the two numbers is 3. So if one is one of the numbers, the other number will be x plus 3. And the question says that the sum of the squares of this number equals to 117. So what do? We do the squares of this number, which is called x square plus x plus 3 whole square, which equals to 117. By this we need to find the value of x. So by solving, what do we see? X square, x plus 3 whole square is in the form of a plus b whole square. So what do we get? The formula is a square plus 2 into x into 3 plus 3 square, which equals to 9, is equal to 170. So what do we get after solving this? We get 2x square plus 6x minus equal to 108. Why 108? Because 117 minus this 9, um, mm, it comes to 108. So what do we get after this? 2. So if we take 2 common from the left hand side, what do we get? X square plus 3x is equal to 108 by 2. So what do we get? 108 by 2 equals to 54. So x square plus 3x, and if we take 50, if we move the 54 to the left hand side, what do we get? Minus 54 equals to 0. So we need to solve this quadratic equation. How do we solve this? We need to find the we need to find the root of 54. So 2 is equal to 27. 3 into 9, 27. And 3 into 3 is equal to 9. So what do we get? 9 minus, if we do 9 minus, since here is the minus sign, so we need to keep the factor as minus. So what do we get? Or equals, or x square plus 6 plus, sorry, plus 9 minus 6, which equals to 3, minus 54 equals to 0. So if you break the factor, what do we get? X square plus 9x minus 6x minus 54 equals to 0. So in the first from the first two terms, what do we get as common? We get x is common. What remains there? X plus 9 minus, if we get 6 as common, x plus 9 equals to 0. So we go to the second page. We go to the next page. What do we get from the previous page? X plus 9, x plus 9 into x minus 6 equals to 0. So what do we get from these two quadratic terms? X is equal to minus 9 or x equal to 6. These are the values, these are the two numbers which they are asking in the question. So this is the answer. Question number 5. What is question number 5? It says the area of Amita's rectangular land is 2000 square meter and its perimeter of it is 180 meter. So
You
by
want to
calculating,
restart?
let us write the length and breadth of the omnitus span. So what do? Let the length be x meter. Okay. So what do we get? We know that the formula rectangle is length into breadth is equal to area. Okay. So x into breadth is not known, so x is equal to breadth is equal to b, and the area is given as 2000 square meter. Okay. So what is breadth? 2000 by x. Length is x. Length is x. Breadth is 2000 by x. So so we come down to the second part of the question. What it says, perimeter of the rectangular field is 180 meter. So what do we know? Perimeter, the value of formula of perimeter is 2 into length plus breadth is equal to 180 meter. 2 into length is x, breadth is 2000 by x, which equals to 180 meters. So by solving this particular equation, we can get the value of length as well as breadth. So what do? So if we take LCM as x, it comes to x square plus 2000 equals to 90. Why 90? We cancelled 180 divided by 2 from the left hand side. That's why it came as 90. So what do we get? Or x square minus 90x plus 2000 equals to 0. Okay. So after this, what do? We need to calculate 2000. How do? We need to find the factor of 2000. But we do that in the formula. What is 2000? 2000 2000, 2, 500, 2, 250, 2, 125, 125 divided by 2 we can get 3, not 3, 5, 25, again 5, 5. So we need to find the value of we need to make the equation such that it comes the two factor. If we add the two factor, it comes to 90. And why we need to add? Because here this sign is equal to plus. So just because I'm circling the plus sign does not mean you people also need to circle it. Just for understanding purpose, I'm circling the plus sign. So we need to find the factors now. How do we do that? 2 to 4, 4 to 8 to 16, 20, 16, and then 20. 1 second. So okay, I get it. So 5 into 5, 25, 25 into 2 equals to 50, 5 into 10, 10 into 20, 20 into 40. So I'm going to the next page. Okay, so equation square minus 90x plus 2000 equals to 0. Okay, or x square minus 50 plus 40 x plus equals to 0. Okay, or x square minus 50x minus 40x plus 2000 equals to 0. Or what do we get common from the first two terms? We get x is common. So what remains there in the equation? In the terms x minus 50. So what do we get common from the third and fourth term? Is equal to minus 40. Okay. So what do we get? X minus 50 equals to 0. So what are the two terms? X minus 50 into x minus 40 equals to 0. So x is equal to 40, x is equal to 50, or x is equal to 40. So the length is given as 40. So suppose we take the first term as first length as 40. Since x is equal to 40, that is length is equal to 40. So what do we get the breadth as? 40 by 2000. Okay, no, sorry, 2000 by 40, which equals to 50. So we know in a rectangle the length is always much higher. Length has a bigger value than the breadth. So this the answer does not satisfy the question. So we go to the next term. What do we get? Next term is x is equal to 50. So if length is equals to 50, the breadth will be 2000 by 50, which equals to 40. So the real answer is, so the correct answer is length is equals to 50 and breadth is equals to 40. And one thing I like to highlight here, why we did not take the length, took the length as 40, because in rectangle the value of length is always greater than its breadth. That's why we negated this answer, negated this part. So that it comes down to that length is equal to 50 and breadth equals to 40.